Okay. So then here what I am planning to do, that I will take 2019, 2020 and 2021 past papers, and I will discuss the graph questions. That you can see this is the 2019 paper and it is a 20-mark question. If you take 2020 paper, again you have a 20 marks question from the graph lesson, and 2021 also you have a separate question, the 20 marks. Therefore, that we will go through these three questions, 2019, 20 and 21, and we'll see what are the things we can revise and what are the things we can learn. So then this is 2019 October monthly test paper, and see how we can do this. That you can use the line papers. This is the part 2, that you can record your answers on the line papers and the graph papers also that you have to use. And keep this in your mind, children, that when you are using the line papers, you can get the space as you wish and you can show all of your workings, right? And here that they have given the first one, they have given a coordinate point 2, 1. And you want to check whether this point lies on the line given that y equal 3x minus 8. Y equal 3x minus 8, that is an equation of a straight line, right? So this is an equation of the straight line and they have given a point, right? And we want to check whether, let's say this is the graph that you have, and whatever the point we are talking, whether it is on the line or it is somewhere else. That is the thing we are going to show here. Right? So then I will move to my whiteboard and show you. It's like this. The point they have given 2, 1, right? The point 2, 1. These are the steps you want to follow when you have this kind of question. First you mark this is the x value and this is the y value. Okay. And then you write the equation 3x minus 8. So then the y equal 3x minus 8. Right. So then we'll see if I use this given x value. Right. If I use this given x value, what will be my y value, right? What is the given x value? The x value is given here that it is 2. So then I am finding the y value. How? That they substitute the x value 3 times 2 and 8. So then the y equal to 3 times 2, 6. 6 minus 8. Then the y equal to -2. Right? So this is what? This is the calculated y value, right? Calculated y value for x equal to, right? And this is what? This is the given y value, right? This is the given y value for x equal to, right? The equation they have given 3x minus 8, right? So then the point is 2, 1. And when that according to the point coordinates, we can understand when the x value is 2, the y value is 1. And what I did, I got this x value and substituted that x value to the formula they have given. And I calculated the relevant y value for this x value. So then it gives me -2. But the given y value is 1. So then the calculated y value and the given y value is not equal. That means this point does not lie on the given line. If the given y value and the calculated y value is equal after doing this calculation, you identify the x value of the coordinate and you substitute that x value to the formula and you calculate the y value. That y value is not equal to the given y value with the same x coordinate. That means this point does not lie on the given line. By any chance, let's say that we get the same value, then we write the given y value for x equal to and the calculated y value for x equal to are same. Therefore, this point lies on the line. So then here we write at x equal to 2, right? The given y value is not equal to the calculated y value, right? Calculated value. So therefore, this point does not lie on the given line. So this is how given line. This is how you want to write the answer for this kind of question where you get 2 marks. 2 marks, that's true, but we want to write because that you are using the line papers, you have enough space to write your answer and justify your answer. Then you want to write the answers like this, right? So then we will move to, this is question number 1. Part 1. That still we are discussing 2019 paper. 2019 part 2, question number 1 and Roman number 1. So then we will check that the next one, Roman number 2, you want to find the gradient of the line passing through these points. They have given 2 points. First of all, that I will write those 2 points in my, that I put the Roman number 2 and this is part A. Children, this is the way you also want to write in your line papers. You just imagine this whiteboard is your line, the line paper. And this is how you want to write the answer. Put the question number correctly. And that the earlier one I put, that is question number 1, part 1. And I did the answer. Then I move to the next one. So then the Roman number 2, part A, I have 2 points. They have given me 2 points. 6, 14 and 1, 4. So then we write that this 6, 14 and then 1, 4. Okay. So when you are transferring the details from the question, children, and the other important thing, double check you have taken the correct values or not. Otherwise, that you are doing the calculation. Calculation is also correct, but you have taken the answers for wrong information. That means you have not taken the question information to the line papers correctly. For an example, that here I double check because it is correct or not. 6, 14, 1, 4. 6, 14, 1, 4. Yes. Now what I do, that I mark them as x1 and y1. And this is x2 and this is y2. And I want to find the gradient of the line, that gradient, and what is the formula we had? Y1 minus Y2 divided by x1 minus x2. There are no hard and fast rule that you want to follow this formula. That maybe that you have used that y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, right? So then both of them are okay. The main thing, either you are taking y1 minus y2 or y2 minus y1, that is not the problem. If you are taking y1 minus y2, the denominator definitely it should be x1 minus x2. If you are taking y2 minus y1, for the denominator, it should be x2 minus x1. Here that I prefer to have the first formula because when I'm looking at the coordinates, I can see 6 and 14, they are bigger than 1 and 4. Therefore, I don't want to worry about the negative signs. I don't get any negative answers if I use the y1 and x1 first because they are larger. So then the y1, it is 14. Y2, it is 4 divided by x1, it is 6. And x2, it is 1. So then the 14 minus 4, it is 10. 6 minus 1, it is 5. Then the answer is 2. Okay. So then again I read the question, find the gradient of the line. Yes, 6, 14, 1, 4, 6, 14, 1, 4. So then the 14 minus 4, it is 10. 6 minus 1, it is 5. So then the 10 divided by 5, the answer is 2. Now you can understand, you also want to do the same thing, right? That when we are doing the things, sometimes we come across with the calculation errors. Therefore, before moving to the next one, children, please go through again that one more time. And when you're double checking your answer, always I'm telling, keep this in your mind that don't check or double check your answer, that having that mindset, this is my answer. Because when you are checking your answer, always think, no need to check that, that is okay. But if you are checking someone else's answers that you think, no, he has not done correctly, therefore there should be a mistake. So with that mindset, when you are double checking your answers, that you are trying to find the mistake. So when you are double checking your answer, that is the mindset you should have, that it should be that you are marking someone else's answer. Then you are finding, that is the nature that we are finding false, that whether it is correct or not. Then part B, hence give the equation of the line. Now I have found the gradient. Gradient is 2, right? And I will take 0.2 because it is easier for me to take 0.2. The values are smaller, right? Then I take this as 1, 4. This is the x value and this is the y value. And the straight line equation is y equal to mx plus c. Now I know the gradient, I know the x value and I know the y value in this case, but I don't know the c value. Children, how I'm going to find the c value? Y minus mx. I keep c alone and send that positive mx to other side with y, then it becomes negative mx. Then what I do, I substitute these values. Y is here 4 and minus m is 2 and the x value is 1. So then the C is equal to 4 minus 2. So then the C is equal to 2. Now you know the gradient and you know the y-intercept. Therefore, the line, therefore, right, the equation of this line, the equation of the line, is y equal to 2x plus 2, right? That I want to double check my answer. What I do, I just take a rough paper and see whether it is correct. That C is equal to y minus mx, no children. So then I use 14, that the 0.1 I am taking, and the gradient I found 2, and the x value is 6. So then I get that the 14 minus 12. The answer is 2. The y-intercept is 2. That means my calculation is correct. That likewise, you also can double check whether your answers are correct or wrong, right? So then we will move to the next part, Roman number 3, where you want to fill the table, right? When you have the table like this, they have already given that the formula and the part of the table. So this is what you want to do. The formula is y equal to x plus 3. This is very easy. Y equal to Roman number 3, right? So then the y equal to x plus 3. That means whatever the x value you consider, you want to add 3 to that value to get the y value. Whatever the x value you use, that you add 3 to that x value to find the y value. Now, what are the x values they have taken? Negative 1, 0, 1, 2, right? So then they have taken negative 1, 0, 1, and 2, okay? So then what I do, I add 3 to all the x values, right? I add 3 to all the x values. So then you can find x plus 3, okay? And that this x plus 3 is equal to y. So then this is 2 with the same y value. Here it is 3 and 3. 3 plus 1, 4, and I write this 4. And this is 5 and 5, right? So then this is how you want to prepare the table. And after preparing the table, then they have asked you that copy the table and here that you want to complete it to draw the graph that you want to complete this. So then what you do, you take the ruler and you make it as a like this. Because they have asked you to copy that, you just imagine this is my line paper. This is how I write the answer on the line paper. So then you know this is the way you also should follow, like this. Right? So now my table is completed. That here that I have taken an additional row, but you also can do it. That first I wrote that the x plus 3 row, then that x plus 3 row is equal to y. Therefore, I wrote the y one separately. Why I am doing like that, children? So then it's easier for me to write the coordinates. Below the table, I write the coordinates. -1, 2. So then the next coordinate 0, 3. And the next coordinate 1, 4. The next coordinate 2, 5. So then I write the coordinates like this. So then we'll see what they're asking in the next part of the question. Draw the graph taking 1 centimeter, 1 unit for both the axes. Now here, children, that when you are taking your graph paper, it's like this. Let's say this is your the graph paper, right? So then this is your graph paper. What I advise you that you take that, no need to save this paper now. So what you can do, you take the bigger ruler and count the number of squares you have that the horizontally and vertically. And exactly you divide it into that the middle way like this, right? And draw the line. And to this side also, that exactly you divide it like this. Okay. Then you mark, this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis, that you want to write the x value and the y value. Okay. So then you can divide it equally. 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, -2, -3, -4, that you will get a nice graph because you are using the ruler and the measurement. Here that I'm just drawing it, right? So then like this. Okay, so then you can mark it like this and you number it 1, 2, 3, 4 and -1, -2, -3, -4. And to this side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and -1, -2, -3, -4. -5. Children, that you can understand why I wrote these, why negative values this side. By any chance, if I write this -2 like this to the other side, right side, so then it can be that they confuse with this line. Therefore, normally I write the y values, the y negative values in the left side. Okay. So then we will take the coordinates. What are the coordinates we had? -1, +2, -1, +2. So then this is the point. You mark it. So then the next coordinate 0, 3. So then the 0, 3. You mark it like this. So then the next one 1, 4, 2, 5. 1, 4, 2, 5. So then what you do, that I don't get that kind of the accurate one as I didn't use the scale properly. We'll try. 2, 5, right? And this is the line you had. If need, you can that extend it, children, right? If need, you can extend it like this, right? It doesn't matter that you can extend it at once, right? Then you write this equation name that the y equal to x plus 3. You write it like this. This is the name, right? We'll see that what we want to do, that take the paper and see that what I'm doing. Then the next part they say, draw the following inequalities on the same set of axes and shade off the unwanted region. Now see what I am doing. X values should be equal or greater than 2. So then equal or greater than 2, then first of all you want to understand, I will take a different color, right? Right, so that X value is, then this is negative 2. They are talking about negative 2 years, that I find a negative 2 and I want to draw the line like this, that this time I can draw a darker line because it is that they are telling about the equal sign, right? Okay. Right. Okay. So then X value should be larger than that. What does that mean, children? X values larger than negative 2 means the right side, right? And what they have asked us to do, they have asked us to shade the unwanted region. So then what is the unwanted region? So this is the unwanted region because that the X values are smaller than negative 2. So this region is not required for me. And we will see what is the other inequality they are asking me to shade. The Y values are less than 5. Then next I'll take another color now. Let's take the green color one. And the Y value is, now I can't use a darker line. Why, children? They have that not told it is equal, right? They have not told it is equal. So then I'm just showing it like this, right? The dotted line, right? So then like this. So then here you have to write it. This is X equal to negative 2 line. And then here you write Y equal to 5 line. That the Y values are, it should be lesser than 5. That is what I need. So then the unwanted region should be this. The Y values are higher than 5. Okay. So then you can see that if I show you, I will take completely different value, what it is. So then I will take the purple color. You can see, so then if you combine all these three, so then you get a nice triangle. In some question papers, they have asked you to find that the point mark, the point ABC, and what kind of triangle is it, that the kind of additional information they have asked. But the problem here now, I know that you are doing everything using the pencil, right? You are not supposed to write anything on the graph papers using pens. Keep that in your mind. That you can't, at least that the number the X is, or you can't write that the equation name or X and Y in pen. Everything you should do with the pencil. Now you may think that the teacher showed this nicely with different colors. How we are going to show this with the pencil like this? You also can do this. Do it nicely, right? That you just do it at home, that if that after watching this, so then you will get this kind of nice thing. Here that I use that the different colors that to show you that in an attractive way. But when you are using the pencil also, you can get the neat graph if you that did it nicely, patiently, right? So then we'll see what is the other question they asked. That's the end of the question, right? So then the first thing we found whether that point lies on the line or not. How you get that? You substitute the X value to the formula and calculate the Y value and see the calculated Y value for that X value and the given Y value for that X value is equal or not. If they are not equal, that point does not lie on the line. If they are equal, that point lies on the line. So then when you want to find the gradient, you mark point 1 and point 2 and that x1, y1, x2, y1, y2, and then you get the gradient formula and substitute the value. After finding the gradient, then you want to find the equation. You know the gradient value to tell the equation that you want to find the y-intercept also. So then what you can do, the y-intercept, that the c is equal to y minus 5x, so y minus mx. So then you get any of the point. Here I took 0.2 because I thought it's easier for me to have to deal with the smaller numbers rather dealing with the 0.1, 6 and 14. That it is that up to you which point you are going to decide, that it doesn't matter. After finding the C value, you want to conclude your answer. Therefore, the equation of the line is this, right? So then we will move to the next one, that you wanted to fill the table so that you complete the table. Here they have given that I want to tell you here something. Let's say you had something y equal to 2x plus 5 children. So then what you want to do, first you have the x, then you have the 2x, then you have the positive 5, then you write that the 2x plus 5 and y. These are the rows you should maintain for this kind of equation. In the paper, they have just given maybe 2 rows or 3 rows. But you are using the line papers that you have your own space to do this. So then what you can do, Hute, you take them step by step. First, you convert x into 2x. So then you add that the positive 5 each column. So then you add the 2x and positive 5 together. So then you get the 2x plus 5 value. According to the equation, that 2x plus 5 value is equal to the y. Therefore, you can write the y row separately. Then you can write the coordinates below the table like I did in this example. Right? So then I will take another example. What you can do with that, let's say you have y equal negative 2x, right? Negative 2x plus 3 for an example. In that case, how you are going to prepare the table, children? You get the x value, then you get the 2x value, then you get negative 2x value, then you add 3 to each column, then negative 2x plus 3, and then it is y. That you may think, why we need to have this much of that, the bigger table? Yes, it is better because it is clear that the person who is marking your answer script can understand that where you got wrong if you have taken the wrong coordinates. So you do this in order. That first you convert x into 2x, then that 2x you want to convert into negative 2x. I will take an example for this. Let's say that the negative 2 and positive 2 I have, that we do have that the negative 2 to positive 2, or that sometimes they will give you these are the x values you want to use. They may give it as a table content, or sometimes they may explain it that you are supposed to take the x values from negative 2 to positive 2. So they can give you it in different ways. So then I take the 2x value. 2 times x, 2x, this is negative 4 and this is positive 4. Then I want to get the negative 2x, children. How I'm going to get the negative 2x? I multiply that the 2x value by the negative sign. To whatever the 2x value you got in the earlier row, you multiply that value by the negative sign. So, sorry, negative multiplied by negative 4, it is positive 4. Negative multiplied by 4, it is negative 4. So then what you do? Positive 3 and positive 3. So then you write 4 plus 3, 7. Here it is negative 1. Then here you write 7 and negative 1, the same thing. Hope it is clear for all of you. And this is how you can prepare the table. After preparing the table, you write negative 2, 7. That you write the coordinates. Why you need to write the coordinates? It's easy for you to draw the graph. Otherwise, that you have to go through, this is the x value and this is the y value. That you have to go through. That's maybe that you will be taking something else in the middle. If you have that something like this, the bigger table, that you take negative 2 and 3, something like this, that quickly when you are looking there. But slowly you look at the coordinates and you have written down them in order below the table. It's easier for you to draw the graph also. Then you want to draw the graph like this. Always mark the x-axis and y-axis because the marks will be allocated for each steps with it. right? So then the X and Y you want to mark. Then you mark the coordinates which you took from the earlier step. Then you draw the line. Then you write the name of the line. Then you see whether you have any additional things to mark the inequalities. When it comes to the inequalities, I repeat that if this is something that the X values are equal or larger than -2, so then you can use the darker line, right? It was the larger than, right? Yes. That you can use the darker line. That here that they have told the Y values are smaller than 5. So then you mark the +5 and you are supposed to draw only a dotted line because it is only that the inequality, no equal sign over there. Therefore, you draw the dotted line. Can you remember that when it comes to the number line, that when you mark like this is 0, that 1, and you draw the circle, and based on that the X values are larger than or equal 1, then you can color this and mark this side, right? Let's say that you wanted to mark that the X values are smaller than -2, then you go to -2 and you just mark this, the small circle, and that is the smaller than region, and you just draw it. You can't color it because it is not equal. But this one you can color because of this. Hope it is clear for all of you. Then we can move to 2020 paper, right? So then all of you can take the 2020 paper. Right. So then we will move to 2020 paper, right? So this is 2020 paper. Again, I will take the same graph question. Then it is easier for you to understand this concept very well. Right, so then find the gradient of the line passing through 1,4. Now you can understand that I don't want to explain that much because that already we discussed the same kind of question. And you also can understand that if you are thorough with that a particular method, so then you don't want to worry that they have given the same thing, right? So we will move to the whiteboard and see that how we can do this, right? So then 2020 paper, 2020. We'll change the color, and that is the part 2, question number 1. Question number 1, part A. That just think this is your line paper, and this is how I'm writing the answers. If I'm the child in the exam hall looking at the paper, this is how I'm writing my answers on the line papers. So then here the first question, find the gradient 1, 4, 6, 40. You just imagine, children, what they have given. 2019 it is 6, 14, 1, 4. No point of doing this question. You can see 2019, the 2 points are 6, 14, 1, 4. And 2020, the question 1, 4, 6, 14. No difference that either 1, 4 you have written first or 1, 4 you have written second, that you get the same answer. Therefore, that no point of the wasting the time for this question. That the 2020 question number 3, right? That here I use the question number 3, Roman number A, that is exactly equal to the 2019 question number 1. Sorry, question number 1, Roman number 2. The 2 points they have given 6, 14, 1, 4. And here 1, 4, 6, 14. No point of doing that. You get the same answer. Therefore, we will move to the Roman number 2. Roman number 2, that so this is same as 2019 question, which we discussed a little while ago. So that is part 2, right? Question number 1, Roman number 2. This is very similar. Therefore, that we will move to the next question. You want to complete the table and you want to draw the graph. So y equal to 2x minus 1. First, you write down that this is Roman number 2a. Right? You write Roman number 2, then you write a, y equal to 2x minus 1. 2x minus 1. Okay. Then what you want to do, Pute? You write the x values which they have given. What are the x values? Negative 2 to positive 1. Negative 2, like this. So then you write the 2x value. So then negative 4. Then you want to add the negative 1 to all the columns here. Right? So then the next one you write 2x minus 1. So this becomes negative 5, negative 3, negative 1 and positive 1. So then the y values are the same values, negative 5, negative 3, negative 1 and positive 1. So then you complete the table using your ruler. See whether you have done the things like this. Double check the answers whether we did it correctly. Negative 2 becomes negative 4. Negative 4, negative 1, it is negative 5. Negative 1 becomes negative 2, negative 2, negative 1, it is negative 3. Then 0, it is 0, 0, negative 1, the answer is negative 1. 2 times 1, 2, 2 minus 1, the answer is 1. So then what you want to do, that you take your graph paper, right, like this. This is your graph paper, and you draw the two axes like this. That exactly you divide this into 2. And you can do this nicely that here I'm doing it without any the scale, but like this. Then quickly we will get the scale, and that all the distances should be equal. Right, like this. Okay, so then we will see that the one thing I forgot in the earlier step, I wanted to write the coordinates, negative 2, negative 5. And the negative 1, negative 3. And 0, comma, negative 1. And 1, comma, 1. Negative 2, negative 5, negative 1, negative 3, 0, negative 1, 1, comma, 1. That I double check. Negative 2, negative 5. So then here, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Negative 6, negative 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, negative 2, negative 5. Okay. Then negative 1, negative 3. Negative 1, negative 3. This one. And 0, negative 1. This 1, 1. So then we will take the ruler and we will draw the line like this. Children, that I don't get that much accurate one because that I didn't use the oh, right. So then here I write y equal to 2x minus 1. So then we'll see that what is the next step we want to do. Draw y equal 1. Draw y equal to 1. Y equal to 1. That I will get the black color and show you y equal to 1. This. And here you can name it as y equal to 1. Then x equal to negative 2. X equal to negative 2. Sorry. And you name this as x equal to negative 2. Okay. So then thereafter, draw the following two inequalities on the above set of axes and the shade the unwanted region. Now, earlier that you wanted to draw y equal to 1, x equal to negative 2. Y equal to 1, x equal to negative 2, that is done. So then I will take another color. Let's say I will take the red color. That and we'll see what we are supposed to do. The inequalities, x values are equal or greater than negative 3. Equal or greater than negative 3, that means I can draw the darker line. So then if it is greater than, children, that means I need which side? The right side. As I need the right side, the left side is not required or not essential for me. So then I mark it like that. So then the next value, y values are larger than negative 3. Y values are negative 3. So then you want to mark it like this. This time you have to get the dotted line because it is not that the y equal to negative 3, but that in the inequality they have given y values are just larger than 3. If it is larger than 3, that means I need the top one. But this one I don't need. Right? So this kind of the unwanted one. So this is how you want to mark. To get the full marks that your graph should be like this. You mark the x and y axis, you plot the points, and you name after drawing the line, you want to name it. So then the y equal 1, x equal negative 2. So then this one I couldn't write that. This is y equal to negative 3. Sorry, x equal to negative 3. Sorry, children. Then the y, it's the same thing they have given. Yeah, x negative 3 and y negative 3. Y value is larger than negative 3. X value is also larger than negative 3. Yes, this is what they need. So then that is the end of 2020 paper where you get 20 marks. Right. So then we are moving to 2021 October monthly test paper again that I'm taking the graph question that it's easier for us to understand the concept and we can see that from year to year what kind of different questions they have given. Okay. So then here the first one, answer the whole question on a graph paper. Give the equation of the line parallel to this one. So then this is a different question which we couldn't find in 2019 and 2020. First of all, we want to know that when you have the two parallel lines, what is the speciality or what is the feature we can see with the parallel lines, children, that you can find they do have the same gradient value. Here, the same gradient in the sense that it should be equal the number and the sign. By any chance, let's say you have that the y equal 2x plus 5 and y equal negative 2x plus 3, let's say, that these lines are not parallel, right? You want to keep that in your mind, that you know that when you have the positive gradient, that your line is like this. When you have the negative gradient, that your line is like this. So then that you can't find the same the parallel lines because the totally opposite ways they are going. If the gradient is positive, it makes an acute angle with the x-axis. If the gradient is negative, it creates an obtuse angle with the x-axis. Therefore, you can't find that the same value, the same kind of line. Therefore, they are not parallel, that even though the value is 2 and 2, right? That you know when you are talking about the gradient, you can have either positive gradient or the negative gradient. Here, I use the term that if they are parallel, they should have the same gradient, that the same gradient in the sense their value should be equal and their sign should be equal, right? Both the requirements should be fulfilled to identify them as the parallel line. Now that looking at this equation, y equal negative 3x plus 4, definitely the second line also that which is parallel to this should be starting with negative 3x. That is done. But we don't know the C part, that we don't know at which point that it cuts the y-axis. But they have given that information, right? So then we will move to the whiteboard and see that what we can do. That I'll move to the whiteboard here, right? And they have given y equal negative 3x positive 4, right? Negative 3x positive 4. So this is the given line. The given line. Right? So then if you want to find the line parallel to this line, parallel to the given line. This is how you want to write the answers for the given line. The gradient should be equal, right? The gradient should be equal. Right? The gradient should be equal. That means the new line, that here the gradient is m equal to negative 3. So then the parallel line should be y equal to negative 3x plus something, plus c, we don't know. But this line, they have given the additional information. This line parallel to the given line, right? Parallel to the given line, plus it goes through, these are the three features we can see, that the 0, 6. It goes through 0, 6. That means when the x value is x value is 0, y value is 6. So that means the y-intercept is 6, my children. Therefore, the line parallel to the given line will be y equal to negative 3x plus 6. When you have the same gradient, we know they are parallel. The same gradient in the sense the value should be equal and the sign also should be equal. And the next problem, that at which point that the second line cuts the y-axis, they have given us it cuts the y-axis at 6 because the coordinate is 0, 6. With that, I wanted to explain you one more thing, right? If you have the line like this, children, right? Let's say this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. So that you should know this point. Let's say you have the line like this. Right? So the 2 points cut the main axis. This point, it cuts the x-axis, and this point, it cuts the y-axis. So then we call this as the y-intercept. Okay, try to understand this and learn this. This is we call the y-intercept. At y-intercept, the x is equal to 0. Okay, so then this is we call the x-intercept because that point it cuts the x-axis now. So then we write that the x-intercept. At x-intercept, then the y value will be 0, right? So you want to understand these two particular points that if they give you any kind of question, the y-intercept and the x-intercept. At y-intercept, we know the x value will be 0. Then for an example, let's say I will take that this is 5 and this is -3, right? So then what is the coordinate of this point? It is 0, 5, right? And that if I take this line, that what will be the coordinates? -3, 0. Why? That at x-intercept, the y value will be 0, no? So then first we write in the coordinate the x value, then we write the y value. So then when you are writing the coordinates of the x-intercept, children, then you write here, according to this example, -3, 0. When you want to write the coordinates of the y-intercept, you write 0, 5 because that at y-intercept, the x value should be equal, right? Okay, so then we will move to the, that is something additional. So then we will move to the next question in 2021 paper. And you want to find the gradient 3258, right? That what I do, I quickly write that the point 1 and point 2. Children, that when you are writing the answer, don't think that these things are that the wasting our time. So then this saves our mark. Yes, that the time is wasting that when you are spending it, but it saves your mark. Therefore, that don't think about that the spending, think about the spending the time to these kind of neat work because that it will be paid off with your marks, right? So then here 3258. 3, 2, and 5, 8. So then here x1, y1. So then x2, y2. Okay. So then we find the gradient is equal to, this time I prefer to take y2 minus y1 because I can see the x2 and y2 values are bigger than the x1 and y1. So then here I write that the x2 minus y1, x1, right? And that again I am telling that there are no hard and fast rule that you want to use the y2 minus y1 or that the y1 minus y2, that the both are same. You can use any of the equation. The y2 here it is 8 minus 2. Sorry. x2 it is 5. 5 minus 3. 8 minus 2 it is 6. 5 minus 3 it is 2. The answer is 3. Right? 8 minus 2 it is 6 and 5 minus 3 it is 2. 6 divided by 2, the answer is 3. So the gradient of this line that which is going through these 2 points is equal to 3. Then what we want to do, find the y-intercept of the line which passes through the above 2 points. That what they ask children, the y-intercept, that means the c value, right? And can you remember that how we found that the c value? That here we write that the m is equal to 3. So then the y is equal to mx plus c. So then if you want to find the c value, y minus mx. So from this, I take the point 1. Again, I have the lesser value I prefer to have. That is the 3, 2. Here it is the x value. Here it is the y value. Then I can find the c value. Y is 2 minus 3 multiplied by 3. X value is 3 and the gradient value was also 3. So then the C is equal to 2 minus 9 and C is equal to negative 7. Therefore, the gradient should be y equal to 3x minus 7. Then I told you, so then after getting this answer, children, that I just recalculate, that I take a rough sheet and do with this point 2. So then C is equal to y minus mx. Right, so then the C is y, here it is 8 minus, so then the gradient we found 3 times 5. So then the C is equal to 8 minus 15, that I get the negative 7 answer. That means I get the same answer that I have done the earlier calculation correctly, right? So then you found the gradient and you found the y-intercept, hence you found the equation of this line. So then we will move to the next part, Roman number 3, that what we need to do, children, that here you want to complete the table. Now that earlier I explained that when you have the equation, children, that this time you have negative x plus 2, right? So negative x plus 2. That you write the formula y equal to negative x plus 2, okay? And the x values they have taken negative 2, 0, 1, 2. Negative 2, 0, 1, 2. So then you want to get the negative x value. That becomes positive 2, 0, negative 1, and negative 2. It takes the opposite. For this value, I add 2. Therefore, I write that the plus 2 in all the columns, right? So then I write negative x plus 2. Here it is 4, 2, 1, 0. And the y is equal to 4, 2, 1, and 0. So then we can complete the table quickly. After that, you quickly write down coordinates below the table, negative 2, 4, and 0, 2, and 1, 1, and 2, 0. Right? So then you move to the graph paper. Let us take your graph paper, and this is your graph paper, and you mark the x-axis and the y-axis like this. And here x value, then the y value. So then quickly you mark the axis like this. Now I don't want to explain, that you just see what I'm doing. What are the coordinates? Negative 2, positive 4. Negative 2, positive 4. So then the next one, 0, 2. 0, 2. 1120.10. You write y equal to negative x plus 2. Right? So this should be your graph, completed graph. So then you want to draw y larger than negative 2. Y larger than negative 2. So then when the y value is negative 2, equal or larger than negative, therefore you can draw the line like this. Negative 2, it's like this. Okay. And here you name it y is equal to negative 2. And you need the larger than region. That means normally you know that we shade the unwanted part. So then you mark it like this. So then the x values are smaller than negative 1. X values are smaller than, but you can't use the dark line this time because it is not equal. Therefore, you keep the ruler and draw the like this, and this is the what you need, smaller than negative 1. So smaller than 1. Smaller than 1 means you need this side. So that means you don't need this one. X values, I want to check again. X values are smaller than 1. That means you need the left side. Therefore, I shaded the right side. The y values are larger than negative 2. That means you need the upper side, right? So then this should be the one. And here I write that the x value is 1 and y value is negative 2. So this is how you want to show the answer for this question. So this is from 2021 paper. So then we are moving to 2022 past paper, again the same graph question. Right, you can see now that like all the other papers that you have 20 marks and that the same kind of thing they have given. And this is also the similar to the earlier 2021 where you want to find the parallel line. And they have given that line goes to 0, 1, right? Therefore, that I will get this, you know now. If the lines are parallel, what is the requirement you should have? The gradient should be equal. Gradient value should be equal. And also the gradient sign should be equal. That both the requirements should be fulfilled to get the value. So then the y is equal to 3x plus 2. The parallel line, definitely it should start with the 3x because the gradient should be equal. And the y-intercept can be changed, right? So then the first line, the y-intercept is 2. The second line, y-intercept, how I'm going to get? They have given me a clue. The second line, which I am finding the equation now, it passes through 0, 1. So that means when you have that this 0 and that this is 1, it goes through like this. The earlier one, it goes through like this. So then the two lines are parallel to each other. One is going through 1 and the other one is going through 2. So then the y-intercept here is plus 2. And the second line, the y-intercept is positive 1. That should be 3x plus 1. That is the answer for this Roman number 1, where you get 2 marks. That first thing you want to tell that the gradient should be equal if those two lines are parallel. So then the 3x, that the same value you should have. So then the second part of this, finding the parallel line equation, you want to get the y-intercept value. So then normally they will give us the clue that by any chance if they have mentioned that the parallel line which we are finding the equation, right? So then if it is passing through the origin, then you want to understand, Pute, it is 0, 0. That means C value will be 0. Therefore, you write the equation is only y equal 3x. That means it is this kind of line. Sorry that I will draw it nicely. So then it should be something like this. Understand? That is also parallel to the earlier one, right? So then the parallel means the same gradient, but different y-intercept values can be there. So you want to read the additional information at the end of the question to get a clue about the y-intercept, right? So then we will move to the next one, the gradient you want to find, right? So then quickly we will move to the past paper like earlier, the whiteboard like earlier. The 2 points they have given what I told you, that you just write down this point 1 and point 2, right? Quickly you write point 1 and point 2 like this. And then you find the values 7, 6, 6, 2. 7, 6 and 6, 2. This is x1, this is y1. This is x2, this is y2. Okay. So then the x1, y2. So then quickly we'll write that. I don't explain that much because that we did 3 papers now. You know what to do. That this one time I'm wondering which one I'm going to take. But I can't decide. I just write that the y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. Then the y1 value it is 6 minus 2 and 7 minus 6. 6 minus 2 it is 4. 7 minus 6 it is 1. 4 over 1 means 4. Right? So then this is how you find the gradient. So then the 6 minus 2 and 7 minus 6. That I'm just double checking, children, that you can understand that always you also want to do the same thing when you're writing the answer. 6, 2, 7, 6. Yes, the answer is correct. Then I want to find that I know the y in the gradient value. So then y equal to mx plus c. Then c is equal to y minus mx. Right. So then I take 0.2 this time. That you can take any point. It doesn't matter. And 6, 2. Yeah, this is the x value and this is the y value. And c is equal to 2, so 2 subtract 4 multiplied by 6. So then c is equal to 2 subtract 24. Then c is equal to negative 22. Therefore, the line should be y equal to 4x minus 22. What I told you, after getting this, you just try this in your working column or that in your rough paper, whether that with the point 1. Point 1 it is 7, 6. This is the x value, this is the y value, no children. So then c is equal to 6 minus 4 times 7, right? C equal to 6 minus 28. C equal to negative 22. Ah, yes, I get the same answer. That means my calculation is correct. This is how you want to think and this is what you want to do on the exam day, right? So then we'll see that, move to the next one. You'll see that you find the y-intercept and the equation. Then you have the table question. 2x plus 1, right? So then I will move to the next page, y equal to 2x plus 1. So then the x values, what are the x values they have taken? Negative 1, 0, 1, 2. Negative 1, 0, 1, 2. So then you write the 2x value. You fill it like this. So then you add 1. For each column, you add 1, like this. So then you write that the 2x plus 1, and then you write y. Negative 1, positive 1, 3, and 5. So you quickly take the ruler and complete the table. Right? Thereafter, you write the coordinates here that I don't have space, therefore I write it in the right side, children. Negative 1, negative 1. Yes, so then you have 0, 1, 1, 3, and 2, 5. I want to double check whether my answers are correct. Negative 2, negative 1, 2 times 1, 2 plus 1. Yes. So then I will move to the graph paper, right? So then this is my graph paper. And now you know what to do, that you exactly divide this into 2 with the taking your the bigger ruler and mark the x and y axes. Right. So then we will take the coordinates quickly. Negative 1, negative 1. Right, negative 1 plus this one and 0, 1, 1, 3. 0, 1, 1, 3 and 2, 5. 2, 5. Then you draw the line. And if you mark the points like this, and you write the name y equal to 2x plus 1, right? So then what you want to do, draw the x equal 3. X equal 3, I will take a different color for this. X equal 3. And this is x equal 3. And I write the name here, x equal 3. Then we'll see what I want to do. Name the triangle. See that I told you there are some questions like that. Name the triangle formed by y equal to x plus 1 and x equal to 3 and the x-axis. And the x-axis. So that means for there, so this is the triangle they are talking. I will take this and this line. Okay. And the x-axis and this one. Okay. So this is the triangle they are talking, and you want to mark them as A, B, C. So then what I'm doing, I name this point A, and this point as B, and this point as C. Okay. And you can name this, and you can see what kind of triangle is this. The ABC is a right angled triangle, right? ABC is a right angled triangle. So they ask what kind of triangle. So then the x equal 3 line and the y equal 2x plus 1 line. Yeah, x equal 3 and the x-axis. So then I mark it as ABC, and that what kind of triangle is it? Sorry, and it is a right angle triangle. Okay, so then children, that you want to understand that we had that the so many pages, and I hope all of you can understand now that how we want to attend for the graph question where it is compulsory and also it is 20 marks question. Okay, so then with another video, I will explain you the set questions where again it is a compulsory one and you get that the 8 to 10 marks. So then this is 20 marks question, and we discussed 2019, 20, 21 and 22 4 graph questions with 4 past papers, that which is giving you 20 marks. Okay.